name of the plant is Amsonia, and Mother Nature doesn't use blue very often. Think about that. We see a lot of reds and orange, yellows. We talked about the Shasta daisies with the white, but there just aren't a whole heck of a lot of blue flowering plants. So we made sure that you're getting 2 of these, and these are also perennials. Here's the thing that I love about something like this, is when you plant something like Bluestar, it can grow on your property for decades, for generations. So maybe you buy a house where someone planted these 20, 30 years ago. But how exciting is it to see this? Because when you look at what's in my fingertips, it doesn't look impressive. It looks a little weird. But you plant this tiny little stick and it turns into these, there they are, these wonderful, thriving plants that will define your property for many, many years to come. And you're getting 2 of them at that price of less than $30, which is remarkable.
And Dan, when we show you this is a bare root plant. You see it there in the picture as well. I'll choose bare root any day over any other style of planting because it is healthier. Look at these roots. I mean, you know, you've seen a plant when you pull it out of a small container. These are healthy roots. And it's going to establish quicker. This plant will grow faster for you. It will flower faster. Because it's bare root, what you see here in front of me is what you'll get in season 1.
Yep.
And it's easier on you. Would you rather plant something that can fit in the palm of your hand or something that is this big and you get the same results? So that's why whenever I see bare root, I always jump on it because it is such a healthy way to go about gardening. But I do want to mention when we'll get back to it when you can show it how to plant that, because there's just a few little tricks. But blue, you said it, look at this color. We are always looking for blue in the garden. And just like our Mr. Goodbud sedum, these are like these little star-shaped flowers. They're so delicate looking, so beautiful and dainty, yet it is a super hardy plant. This can work for most areas of the country. It loves full sun, and it's kind of a big plant in our garden. You know, we just talked about the sedum, which gets 15 inches. This can get to be 3 feet tall by about 20 inches wide. So you're talking about 2 plants here that take up 6 feet of space in your garden. So you're covering a nice amount of ground when you're getting this Amsonia, this Bluestar, and it is a long-lived plant in our garden. This one's going to last for decades and decades to come. I love that about our perennials, that when we plant them, we just get to enjoy them and not much care is needed after that first year in establishing them as plants.
Interior decorators tend to think in threes. 3 candles together look better than a single candle. Well, as you're thinking about your own gardens, I start thinking in terms of low, middle, and taller. And work into the theory of 3 seasons of flowering, spring, summer, and fall. So you want something that's going to be low to the ground so that your plants don't look leggy, something that you kind of plant in the middle, and then something like this that you plant at the back. And it doesn't have to be up against a wall. I think corners are the greatest places in the world to put small gardens because it softens up, the harshness of, say, brick or vinyl siding. Plant around the corners and do it in layers, something in the back, closer to the wall, something in the middle, and something down below. And the investment on this is $30 for 2 plants. 30 years from now, when these are still in your yard and still thriving, you will have long forgotten $15 per plant. And Katie, you know this. I want our audience to understand. Good luck finding something of this quality at that price at your local garden center. You're going to be hard pressed to find Starstruck Bluestar.
Yeah, you're right. And especially this year, because we need to reserve our plants now because gardening, as you said, is hotter than ever. So people are really, really wanting plants like these that are standout perennials in our garden that live forever, that offer us so much.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you're doing. What you're doing is you're reserving these because Katie and her team, as great as they are at growing, they're equally adept at shipping them at the right time. So, it's always fun when something shows up at the front door. It's even more exciting when it's something that the day it comes or a few days thereafter, you plant it in the ground and they thrive. Cottage Farms has built their reputation on giving us better quality plants. The
Yeah.
gardening industry, and it is an industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, has become, sadly, so much like other industries where plants are now being mass produced and just kind of cranked out. But that doesn't mean that they're at the top of the food chain and the quality. Cottage Farms only brings you great quality. Think of this, everything in this hour has Cottage Farms attached to it. When you go to a garden center, look around and see how many brand names you'll see. One or two. Everything is generic. So you get generic results. When you shop with Cottage Farms, you get the best. And I wonder how many people have gardens, even extensive gardens, where they don't have any blue in that garden whatsoever.
It's hard to find, Dan. That's why I'm saying these are going to be gobbled up. And the other thing about the blue, then in the fall, we didn't even tell you yet that the foliage on these plants, the leaves, turn this beautiful golden color. So these are really one of those plants in your garden that look beautiful all 3 seasons. So I really suggest that if you don't have any blue in your garden, you need these. And if you don't have any Bluestar, you need these.
Yeah. Well, our next item, we'll talk a little bit about blue again. Oh, you know what? A little reminder, because I know our quantity is not that big. There's fewer than 500 of our